Bad, 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 bad boy. You know you make me feel so good. You know you make me feel so good. You know you make me feel so good. Ride or Die, which of course everyone knows should have been named Bad Boys for Life, but they named the third movie Bad Boys for Life, and the stupidity of it is very known to everybody. Let's not get it. The trailer for this movie came out, and I said, I'm not so impressed. It just looks like another Bad Boys. The third movie was all right. Third movie was cool. And if we can get the same performances again from these guys, that'll be all right. We got better performances. We got better performances from Martin Lawrence specifically. One thing about Martin was that he was so old. He was older in the third movie. He was like retired, and I did not get that at all here. It began with him having health issues and how he needed to stay away from sugar and how he was only supposed to go to the store to get and man, this kind of wasn't important to the movie, but it was important to the character. He goes inside, the hot dog looking good, and the store gets robbed. And as the store gets robbed, there's a little comedy in between the vendor, there's a little comedy between the jacker, and then in comes Will's character, Marcus, Mike Lowry, and we got to see him act the way he's supposed to act and has always acted before. There was not a moment I was thinking about Will Smith and how he played a slave in that movie, or any other mistake he's made with Jada Pinkett on his entanglements and whatnot. Instead, I just saw the character. I was back to how the life is supposed to be, a very familiar feeling, and we got to see the two bad boys there. Cool stuff where they had this in sync motion where I move out the way, you move out the way, shoot at the like he. It was smooth, it was beautiful, and they cut to credits. Bad Boys is out. The next scene we see, there's another wedding. It was a wedding last time around. Last time around, I remember the wedding, and I saw Reggie, and he had his like outfit because he was in the military, and I went, cool. He's in the military. Maybe he's gonna do something cool. But he did nothing in that last movie. Remember, he's not an actor. It was just like a little cameo, very cheap to acquire him and get him back. He's not an actor. But Reggie still in this movie brought it. And I hate that I watched other people review this movie. And again, I'm spoiling. But even when people weren't spoiling, they would say Reggie, 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 and I mean, I kind of knew what was coming. I kind of knew he was gonna have a kick-ass scene. I wish it came out of nowhere, and I would have been more surprised. The Reggie stuff here, all right, he's at the wedding also, and we see him also still. He's wearing the Marines uniform. Now, the wedding between Mike getting married to his therapist came out of nowhere for me, but it was adding to the mental health of the character. He's gonna have now people to lose. He's having panic attacks and stressing over something. And Mike's character got something we've never seen before. The old age is now catching up to these guys. And with that, I want them to get a promotion. I want Bad Boys 5 to come out with them doing their final sort of like big mission. And then they can make their way up to the captain position, the, the general, whatever the hierarchy is in that police force. I want them to be the police chief. That's what I want. One of the guys. And the next movie could be called The Grad Boys, where we find two other actors who are in their late 20s, and they could be the cops that carry the franchise over. And you know, Will and Martin, they can get hired also to be supporting roles in those movies just to continue this. But the Bad Boys have one more inside them. They got one more inside them. I feel like we're missing out because the gap between the second movie and the third movie was so large. We shouldn't be on our fourth movie right now. I should be here talking to you guys about the seventh Bad Boys movie. Someone's gonna make a Fast and Furious comparison. Shut your mouths. The Fast and Furious jokes and their logic is different than the Bad Boys logic and jokes. I think that the Bad Boys logic is more grounded, it's more realistic. So what if there's an alligator there? Alligators, oh, an albino alligator at that? What are the odds? But it's possible for that to exist. Just so Marcus could complain that the alligator is racist. He did the other joke. Remember the joke where he was putting on those clothes? And I saw this in a trailer or a TV spot. And they're like, "What? Those are your clothes? Huh? Corn fed white boy. What did it say on his thing?" And then they were playing Reba, and I guess they actually got Reba to be singing the Bad Boys song. that was a cool get. Like, whoever thought to do something like that? I wouldn't have thought of it. It's pretty creative, and it's probably really expensive too. But they got her to sing that song. I skipped over to the ending, but the beginning of the movie, seeing them at celebrating life and seeing the reoccurring characters all appear was just good. Because as a fan, I want to be rewarded to knowing that my characters in the franchise are prospering at life. Like they're really winning. Not a day is passing by that they're losing. Dude's getting married. Family life is doing. There's a baby on his way. Mark's about to be a grandfather to a baby. We didn't need that, but we got that. Things are moving forward for our characters, and so even if you can say that the first 20 minutes of the movie weren't action packed, I don't mind it. And yes, we get the Marcus who gets a heart, something happens to him and he starts to see visions, and the storytelling there and the camera work there was creative. When he's on top of the roof, I can't die, I'm ready to fly, and his cheeks are exposed. Here's the thing with Killmonger. I'm eating my popcorn. And for some reason or another, I just was looking away at the exact moment, at the precise, like, you hear me? Hello.
Hold on, I'm still adjusting here.
Okay.
Why are you trying to counter program against WWE? I don't understand this. This is like the third time in a row.
Yeah, what are they doing right now? Clash of the Castle?
Clash of the Castle, yeah.
Yeah. I don't care.
You don't care? Yes, you do. Stop it.
I barely care.
Stop it.
Remember last time how they had Drew McIntyre lose his match and then he just starts singing songs with the audience? Like, bro, you just lost your match. You're not going to make this okay.
Well, he's going to be redeemed, though. This is the first time in Scotland. That's his home.
Where was the last time? Wales?
Yeah, something like that. Because he said he thought, I saw in an interview, he said he thought it was going to be in London this time. And it wasn't. See if I can adjust this.
So it's not Clash at the Castle, it's Clash at a Castle.
A Castle, yes. Not the Castle.
My point that I'm trying to make here is that the audience and the beginning of the movie was kind of slow.
Well, let me say this. I disagree with your... I don't mind them being promoted and being like captains or, whatever the hierarchy is. But having a next generation, no, just end it. Bad Boys, that's Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, and that's where it ends. Don't need to keep doing more. They get the promotion. They run Miami. Let them run Miami. I don't even care about that. And that's how it ends. No next generation. No nothing. No passing of the mantle. No passing of the torch. Done. D-U-N. Done.
Mike, do you remember the first 3 seconds of the movie where it said, Sony, how do they treat the Spider-Man franchise? They don't need no Peter Parker. Venom, okay, I can see a reason for that. Madam Web, Morbius. They've got another one coming out too without Spider-Man.
Look how well that's working for them, okay?
But they got the IP Bad Boys, so they're going to do Grad Boys, where they get some new guys in there, and they're going to be whooping butt. I mean, you might get 1 or 2 scenes where, oh, you know what? Martin and Will, as old as they are, they can still drive a car. So we can get some cool car action scenes from them.
We should also talk about, I've been watching, because they do like the Vanity Fair and the GQ and all that stuff, the little videos that they do or whatever.
Yeah.
Something happened to Martin. I don't know what it is, if it was a stroke or something, but he's not, if you watch the movie, he's not that way anymore. Yes, he's 4 years older.
I disagree.
Than Will.
I think he is better in the movie than he is in real life.
Because that's what I'm saying. No, in real life, it looks like something happened to him.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. And if because if he can't be as physical, and he was sort of physical. I'm sure he did some of the physicalities in the movie, but if he can't be physical, then, and I'm also very tired of people talking about Will Smith smacking Chris Rock. There's only 2 people that should be concerning. It's Will Smith and Chris Rock, and that's it. And you can take your feelings and you can
shine them up real nice, turn that some bit sideways and stick it straight up your candy hat.
Exactly, because I'm tired of these people that virtue signal, like, oh, I'm not going to go see The Flash because of Ezra Miller did, or oh, I'm not going to see Bad Boys because Will Smith smacked Chris Rock, or oh, like, these people don't care. They don't care. You know what? Ezra Miller got paid. He's done. He got paid. You're not affecting his pocket whatsoever. Same thing with Will Smith. Like, he's and not only that, but like, he slapped somebody. He slapped somebody. He didn't murder somebody. He didn't like steal. Like, he literally bitch slapped somebody, and that was it. Like, you can. There's a show on Spike or whatever it is where that's what people do. They stand in front of each other and they slap each other.
And the guy in charge of that show did that to his wife.
Yes, and yeah, so, and yet people haven't, I guess because those kind of people that go see the UFC or whatever, they already take part in events such as that, so that's just a normal day for them. But those of us that don't abuse spouses or hit other people or whatever unprovoked or something like that, we don't necessarily want to see that stuff. But you know what? In the end of the day, it's just between Will and Chris. Chris got his little he got his little bump out of there. He did his little comedy special thing and talking about
Baltimore.
it and talking about it. So, move the fuck on. Move on. They have. Move on. Enjoy this movie. If you know what, if you don't want to go see it, that's fine. My theater, it was, I would say, 3/4 of the way filled. This was the opening night, well, Thursday night, the 7:00 show. And if those seats that were empty were the people that were taking the high road because they didn't want to see it because Will slapped Chris, thank you. Because I didn't want to be packed in with all you motherfuckers.
Let's talk box office now. Just because it made 56 million domestically, and that sounds like a good story because of the budget of the movie and everything, it doesn't mean that this movie was as successful as some of us want to say that it is. I hope that this movie, it should break even. It should break even, but I just don't see it being super profitable because the international market isn't showing up. When a movie like this comes out, the big box office movies, they're supposed to have like half and half or more international money than you got from domestic. And I'm not seeing that right now. Last time I checked, it was something like 55% of the money.
Check, see what it's doing this weekend.
Domestic. Well, I'm not going to get this weekend yet because it's still Saturday. But I'm looking at
doesn't Box Office Mojo do daily?
On Sunday. On Sunday they'll project.
Well, no, I know they do that, but I'm saying I thought they did like the daily,
It's domestic 60%, international 40%. You see how bad that is, like compared to another movie like Let's Kingdom of the Apes. It's domestic is 42%, and the international market is always bigger. But hey, when people say something about let me find another one.
What was Bad Boys again? What was Bad Boys again?
It was only
61.
60 domestic. The domestic should be smaller than the international. There's supposed to be more countries than just Canada and America, and that's why the international box office is key. Unfortunately, China and places that don't like that much melanin in their leads don't value enough. It's not just China. I can pick on the European countries also. All over the place.
Well, apparently they had a Dubai. They did something in Dubai, and apparently it was like the first Hollywood movie that was allowed to be premiered there or something like that.
I think the third movie was the first one in Saudi Arabia. I know that news headline. But he played the genie. That's what he gets. He played the genie in Aladdin. They go, oh yeah, he's one of us. What do you mean? Yeah, sure, Bad Boys, of course.
Oh, hey, I was watching with a customer because he kind of, tangentially works for Disney or whatever, and they were talking about a new Ariel exhibit that was opening. It was weird. She didn't look like the Little Mermaid. She was white and she had red hair. I don't know why.
Oh, she didn't look like the Little Mermaid at all. No.
Yeah. What's up with that?
It feels like the representation was temporary from that Halle Bailey movie.
What?
Yeah, it is fire, Anzo. You need to check out this movie because me and Bro want to talk about it. What's going on? I'm doing good myself. And I was at the part where Martin Lawrence's buttocks makes the screen. I was looking down, thankfully, and I knew what was happening in my peripheral, and I kept looking down. And so I avoided that moment.
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that much. It was the quick flash.
They got me with Chris Hemsworth in Love and Thunder, but I just kind of
you like that stuff.
I didn't focus my eyes. Nope, I was just looking off. But this one was This is I don't
I
know.
kept waiting for it. I knew something was going to happen with that because he's standing up there in the gown. It's like his ass has to be hanging out, like, you know.
I don't know why I laughed. I'm encouraging the jokes by laughing at that. He played Shanae, didn't he? So
Yes, he did.
man, Martin gets the pass because at least back then, there wasn't a pattern or anything formed yet. But now any actor doing that dress stuff, which is a different topic than this Bad Boys movie. All right, so he gets the health scare. He gets the vision. They found a way to get the captain. Is it Horford? What's the name of the captain?
Captain Howard.
Captain Howard shows up in this movie, so they got that actor a paycheck. I don't care if you died in the third movie, you're going to be contributing. Just do a couple of video messages. And
I forgot he died in the third one. I saw it. It was during the pandemic and all that, but like that's all. Oh, the other thing I didn't like. See, and this really annoys me. Maybe I've mentioned it once or twice in random streams, but they replaced Martin's wife. Like, what happened to Teresa Randall?
I heard that she retired from acting.
Really? Well, she was in the third one, and that was only 4 years ago.
She retired 3 years ago.
Come on, dude. There was a thing on Black Twitter about they had a thing of her sitting on in a like a wheelchair on like one of those those old people walker things.
Uh-huh.
And they said that she wasn't looking healthy.
Oh, that explains it then. There's nothing wrong with that.
Dude.
Teresa Randall, IMDb. What was the last thing that she's done?
Bad Boys for Life. Isn't that chronological up there?
Is that it?
I don't know.
Okay, yeah, it's 2020.
Yeah, if that's chronological, then that's the last thing she did.
Which means that she didn't do anything from 2020 to 2010. She did nothing.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, and she's been in a lot of things. Wasn't she the wife also in Spawn?
Yeah. She was also in Girl 6, which was a Spike Lee movie.
Huh.
Prince music.
Oh, she was in Space Jam, wasn't she?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think she was. Wasn't she Michael Jordan's wife?
Bro, typecasting.
She's always been his wife. That sucks, man.
That doesn't suck. It's just a fact of life.
I don't like that. Oh, and the other thing that I really, really didn't like was when they went to the strip club. They're on the run, and they run into what's her face?
Tiffany Haddish.
Yeah. And never mind, like, and we're going back to like, allegedly off-screen behavior and stuff like that. But like the thing about like what she wanted him to do, like there has never like
with her tongue. That was awkward, bro. I hate that. I don't know. Tiffany Haddish, she lost me. I never really loved her, but there was a time I was like respecting her and being like, okay, I see maybe Common sees something in here. I heard her speak Japanese. I'm like, oh, she might be kind of cool. I may be like judging her, but I just got no respect for her now, especially off that video where the woman was like, I sat next to this woman, and it was Tiffany Haddish, and she was like, oh, well, slavery, George Washington owned slaves too, or some stupid line like that. It was like tone deaf and idiotic.
Yeah. Well, and also, because in the previous 3 movies, like there was nothing vulgar like that. There was like, F words and whatever else and stuff like that, but there wasn't vulgarity involved, and that's what she brought, the vulgarity. I didn't like that.
You didn't like her vulgarity of it? She took it too far?
Vulgarity of the scene, yeah.
Everyone's got their limits. Some people are going to view that as like an acceptable amount of vulgarity, and I don't. Teresa Randall has a health issue. It didn't stop Martin, bro. Martin was up. Martin.
But see, he didn't. But no, he doesn't look. He doesn't. If you watch some of the interviews or some of the little videos they have on YouTube, he doesn't look the same way he did in the movie. Like he doesn't. His movements, he's not as quick. He's quicker in the movie. In the movie, he seems like Martin aged. Here, he seems like Martin with something that happened, to him.
Martin, if your job is acting, like you don't have to do anything. You just got to come on set in 4 months. Like you got every time in the world to go to the gym, to eat healthy, to kind of like take care of your body. You know what I mean?
Well, apparently he did a lot of boxing because there was I think one of the things, they asked stupid questions or whatever. And they said, who would be able to, win in a fight, Will during Ali or Martin? And even Will was like, yeah, just by the boxing alone, like, because he used to, I guess, be into it really hard, and so he's like, yeah, you'd be able to whoop my ass. He said that to Martin. So I guess Martin used to box all the time, but now, I mean, and it's not even like a thing like, oh, he let himself go or anything like that. It's not. It's like literally like something, yeah, like something like that. Something happened, and there was I think it was on Sway or whatever it was, like he's like, I'm okay. He's like, it's in God's hands, that kind of thing. And so, I'm not like, there's no shame or anything. I'm just saying, like, it's sad if it's true.
It's sad. It's true. Remember how George Perez? No, never mind. Let's get back to this. We're at the point of the movie where he can't die and he's risking his life and doing stupidity. Some of the jokes were funny, but 50-50 of those jokes landed for me. Right? Martin's delivery it's still his delivery. It's just the material wasn't saying much.
Well, yeah, I mean, but it wasn't like look at it this way. They're like dad jokes or something, like, they're not supposed to be like, from 1995, the first one,
The family life, we got to revisit them one more time. We got to see the video gamer in Reggie, which was a nothing scene at first, but it actually sets up that's where he's stationed,
Unlike you, I didn't have Reggie spoiled for me. They did mention, because I think it was Dan Merle said something about it. A long time character gets a moment to shine or something like that, but he didn't say who it was. So I'm like, okay, I was glad because that was the scene.
And it made sense in the movie, right? They only needed 2 hostages. So one of the hostages was his wife, was Will's wife, and the other hostage was the granddaughter of Captain Howard.
Mm-hmm.
Her little speech in the beginning, if he was here, he would say, "What the F?" She was so lame, but she played the perfect role.
But he would say that though too. You do know. Right?
He would say that, sure. Yeah. And it was Mike's wife. Was it Mike's wife? It was Will's.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they went to Martin's house first because that's why Reggie was fighting them.
And then he goes, "All right."
I guess it was a team. They double teamed. They did Marcus in.
And he said, "Teresa, we'll leave you guys here. I think you got it under control. Mwah, bye." And they went to took care of their home stuff, and we got to see a character that we've known for years in love, and everything was fine until the news story came out. And Captain Howard's been dirty, and damn, I didn't believe it. I did not believe or had my second guesses at all. I also knew there's no way that he's dirty. There's got to be somebody trying to frame him and defame his name. I wasn't at all considering that I couldn't trust these characters, and neither could they. The two of them were like, "No, we can definitely trust." Who's the woman, the Latina, that woman? The one.
Rita.
What Rita? Thank you for remembering the names, because there was a moment where, can we trust Rita? Nah. She's dating that guy. That's the one who's dirty.
She was dating Reed Richards.
Yeah, Reed. That's where I know him from. The Reed Richards actor. That guy over there was like a corrupt dude. And in the movie, in the wedding, they were like, "Oh, you guys were a power couple," so they did establish it. The wedding wasn't just for feel goods; it was also a lot of setup and a lot of characters, understanding where they were. We know that the Marine, because of the Marine uniform of Reggie, he also would mention it back at the house. I was just deployed 10 weeks ago, so we know he's active, and a lot of good setup while they're making me feel good. Seeing how capable Martin and Will still are in the robbery scene at the corner store also set up how capable they're going to be in the rest of the movie. So I'm not complaining. The parts I'm complaining about maybe are the cameos of Joyner Lucas and DJ Khaled and Tiffany Haddish. They were kind of lame, and they're not special enough to be cameos. Come on now.
Well, I didn't like what they did to what's his name, the hacker dude. He was in the first one, tall dude. Oh god, with the glasses.
Black John dude. Sally.
Yeah. What the hell's his name? Fletch. I didn't like what they did to him. I like seeing him again, but I didn't like what they did to him. That was messed up.
I think it all added up. It's rewarding to see characters return.
No, I like that. I'm just saying what.
And he said, over there. So Vanessa Hudgens' character is the one who bagged it. She saw the QR code, and then they said, "Okay, power off. No one needs to know about it."
Oh yeah, what happened to the Asian dude from the team
He was
from
just wasn't
three?
there. He
No.
listen. It's cool. We don't need that. And look,
Hey,
there was
Asian representation is important too, man. Come on.
what's more important is that there wasn't an Asian in here. There. Well, okay. Why did I say before you laugh? Why did I say that?
I don't know why. Oh wait, no, because if there was an Asian person, then that would have been China. That would have been the Chinese market. You see, they
the
just
lead
shot
of
themselves in the foot.
the leads of the movie and the people on the poster are still Will and Martin. The reason I said the no Asian guy good, it shows me that it's not no diversity checkbox Disney type of mentality. They couldn't get their guy back. He's probably busy with another movie or scheduling, whatever it was. Oh, okay. I guess we just don't have him. All right, we can more lines for the white guy, more lines for Vanessa, more we make them a couple. They can live in the same house. All right, cool. We don't need him. That's great. Because if I would have saw, oh, now look, check it out, the mayor is Jackie Chan, they got to be the mayor. That was not that funny, Bo.
It's continuity, chill. He should have been in there. He's a part of the team, or they should have mentioned like he got transferred or something. This is the team. They brought three-quarters of the team back. They should have explained where he was.
4 years passed between that movie and this movie. All we gotta do, he could be in the 5th movie, and all we gotta do is say, "Hey, I'm back in town." That's all.
No.
But people do things though. People take vacations, and this whole movie takes place in the span of about a week. So,
but how do we know 4 years have passed? Like 4 years have passed for us. Do we know? Because in fact, did you notice? Because he asked them. I think it was Martin asked Will. He said, "What year is it?" Will didn't respond with the year. He was like, "It's the same time it was, when you fell into the coma or whatever. When you
said it was Monday,
you had the heart attack. Yeah, whatever it was.
Tuesday.
So he didn't mention the year.
William said he doesn't know Joyner was in the movie because he doesn't know what he looks like. He was one of those thugs who look collecting the bounty. He can be the villain in the next movie. Nah, we need actors to be villains. The little the guy who's not in this movie, the Asian representation, that dude. Yeah, fine, make him a villain, sure. I wouldn't mind that. That would be kind of cool.
This is what happens when you make a movie without me.
He could be compromised. The villain in this movie was great. He played McSteamy in Grey's Anatomy. But aside from that,
never saw that.
He was pretty evil, and the finger thing that he had to endure, and we got to see why people go sideways and turn on their own country, on their own people. It happens, and it was a good motivation. I never liked him though. The scenes that they had with him in like when he was capable, he took down a plane with the parachute and everything. The way that he would kill people after he would like make it seem like remember, okay, there was that one woman. The girlfriend is the mistress. And as she heard him speak to his wife, she shot him. And then she took her own life. And, he kind of mapped out the story. He was so evil, so expert and calculative. I hate him. And I'm glad he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Like, they don't give movie awards for best villain. But if they give a movie award for best villain.
MTV does, I think. They used to.
He will win this movie award for best villain. I don't know anyone better than this. Who's the villain in the Garfield film, huh? Who's the villain in Kingdom of the Apes? This was it.
Good filmmaking is the villain in Planet of the Apes.
Who's the villain in Deadpool Wolverine? Is that Cassandra Nova?
Yeah.
She didn't appear very Cassandra Nova-ish in the trailer.
Well, she's a chick and she's bald, so that's all she needs.
That's all she needs.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm glad we didn't. Well, I mean, you did see the little flashback thing, that showed how he became, or but as long as it doesn't be like that whole, well, we should feel bad for the villain or something. I want a villain that's a bad guy and he's bad from the beginning to the end. Like, that's what villains should be. That's why they're villains. I don't need to know like how they've been damaged and wounded and whatever else. They're villains. They're evil.
We actually did get that because the therapist noticed his fingers, and that's where we explained it. So we do know how he got there. I still hate him. Good. The way that he was, man. The way that he got the pilot also, where he's made the pilot record something, and then right after, boom, you're gone now. Like that was crazy. And he's putting out the bounty also. It was terrible. The villain from the third movie, Armando, made his way back into this film. His scene where somebody tried to get him in jail because he had an ID of James McGrath, the villain. His scene where he just had this, he was ready for it. He got the weight, boom, boom, boom. I almost liked it more than I liked Reggie. It was they were both right up there. With both of those scenes were action packed, and I got to see some cool parkour also.
Oh no, the Reggie scene was god tier. That was good. I'll give you that. That was good too. But yeah, no, nothing tops Reggie's scene.
And you see how the cop turned his back and he wasn't looking anymore. Okay, I'm gonna go patrol this side. What happened? What?
Yep. Yeah.
And they gave good reason for why he needs to be transferred. Everything worked out well. It's how we got them together. Now he is a fugitive by the time we get to any of this movie. We'll get to the end right now. As he was getting stabbed, I was and sacrificing himself for the granddaughter. I thought, okay, Callie is looking at him with goo eyes, so maybe they become a couple, but maybe also that's all just so that he can die right here. After like the third time he gets sliced, I was going, oh, that's it. He's dead. We can afford to lose him, right? We don't. He doesn't need to be in the sequel. He's gonna die, and he survived. But I believed it, and I really was like hook, line, and sinker, bought in.
So what if he's the next generation?
He's too old.
Wow, that's ageist of you.
It's how they started. The Bad Boys franchise started when these guys were still doing their sitcoms. They were in their 20s.
25.
They were 25 years old. So begin again with 25-year-olds because we need them to do action stuff for.
How about no? Just end it. End it with them. That's it.
Oh, okay. Him and Reggie teaming up. Armando and Reggie.
They don't. Reggie doesn't. Oh,
I like you like it. You like it. You just don't want to admit that you like it, but it sounds good to you.
Well, no, because neither of them. I mean, they don't have the personalities that Will Smith and Martin Lawrence have, and that's what you need. You know.
Sorry, I step away.
I thought you were going to go see it again. Oh. Wow, pizza. What is this? A ASMR?
I'll mute myself as I crunch.
No, what's that thing where they eat while they're talking or something like that? There's a thing. What's that called?
I don't know what ASMR stand for, but it is that.
No. There's a type of thing where they stuff their mouths with food and stuff like that while they're talking. It's not ASMR is the type of when they make all the sounds and the microphone and stuff like that. But the other thing is actual. It's a thing. It's there's a name for it. I can't remember.
I don't know. We got a smart live chat here. William says Mike's son with Marcus's stepson. Yeah, that'll be Reggie and Armando. And to me, wouldn't it be Reggie and not stepson, son-in-law? Who's the stepson?
Stepson. Marcus's stepson? Yeah, it'd be son-in-law. Yeah,
it'd be son-in-law.
There it is. Yeah, that's it. That's what it's called. While you're eating, you're stuffing your face while you're talking.
So you guys like the crunch?
You get a new audience this way.
Yeah, I've never seen your boy the alien before.
Well, he heard. It's the code words go off.
So Vanessa Hudgens' character, she was fine, as Armando says, but she was also the third name on the casting. That has to be because of a contract that she signed with the third movie that she's entitled to that level of praise. She wasn't that much of a factor here.
She wasn't.
Neither was that boy Ludwig, who's the guy who played the dude in Hunger Games. But her boyfriend was there too, and as shocked as he was, no, we're dating. I liked how cool Will was. Mike Lowry was like, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, it's fine. And they should have probably been under surveillance. But that just goes to show you how unimportant to their characters those two characters are. If they trusted them by the time we got to the ending of it, but I don't think the LAPD or the Miami Police Department should have left unattended the two police officers who are likely for Marcus and Mike to reach.
Mm.
Bad
Mhm.
writing.
Yeah.
He had little Batman headquarters too. And this is where we get to the Reggie scene where he just annihilates everybody and looks really good. And I like the camera work because the camera would start here in the room as they're looking at their TV screen, and it would zoom into the screen, and all of a sudden we'd be in the room, and it would also zoom out of that to get into their reactions.
But wait, did we know that that Mike and Marcus still worked with Ammo afterwards, after Bad Boys 3? You know, I mean, I hear what you're saying about like monitoring, you know, anybody that they might go to, but maybe they weren't part of that team.
Yeah,
You know what I
maybe
mean? It was just that one time and that was it. So that maybe that's why they didn't have a reason to do that.
because it was 4 years ago. That helps my case.
Mm-hmm. I'll give you that one.
They dated for him and the therapist dated for 4 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know the baby that they had. Never mind. Let's forget Bad Boys 5 or Grad Boys or Son-in-Law Boys. Forget that. We're at the point now. We're near the ending of this movie now. The elevators, the Captain America-esque elevator scene.
Oh yeah.
Nah, man. I had my thoughts about it, what would happen in an elevator, and yeah, it kind of went the way it's supposed to go. Little Mr. Fantastics was sending text messages while she wasn't looking, and he's like, What's on the phone? What's on the phone?" I thought he was gonna be like, "Are you cheating on me?" Because that would have been like a good way to just dance around it. But it was kind of obvious that he was the dirty cop, and I'm glad he died too. Well, he died by like a helicopter or a little spinner thing chopped him up.
Yeah, at first I thought the racist albino alligator was going to get him, but because he fell into the water, remember?
Yes, but he
Yeah.
got it from the propeller. When I
Yeah.
thought him still alive, I was upset. But yeah, he had to die too. I needed him to die.
Yeah.
She had a line towards him like, "I don't believe you a goddamn thing." What was
Yeah.
the line?
You also forgot to mention that there was a scene where I guess they were crossing the street. I think it was when Marcus was in the road, or he said he was, you know, when he was trying to prove that he couldn't die, and there was a Porsche guy driving the Porsche, and that was Michael Bay.
Michael Bay director, and Cabby Lame, the TikTok guy who speaks with his hands. Very popular TikToker, most
Really?
popular, and because of that, that guy who just goes, "Oh, what," and points with his hands, that brought a lot of audiences, and all he needed was a little cameo. They probably didn't even pay him. He just said, "Oh, I could be in a movie. Cool, very good,
Wow.
phenomenal marketing from this movie. It will be profitable because the marketing budget isn't much. It's just smart.
Well, that tour that they did. Are you sure that's not going to increase the promotion? Yeah. Okay.
I'm sure.
I mean, I hope so. I'm not saying I'm not trying to, you know, but yeah, I want this movie to make money.
The drones in this movie were able to put smoke out. It was able to shoot also, and kind of scary because those are real life things. Like they exist in places right now, like in Gaza, where you know what's nasty about Gaza? There were some drones playing the sounds of babies crying. So you would go there thinking, "Oh, I gotta help this baby," and you would get attacked just for that.
Wow. Did you like the
Israel? No.
the first person camera work? Like there was a scene in the amusement park where with the gun.
I heard about it and I saw it also advertised, so I was ready for it to come. And yeah, I did like it a little bit. It's imperfect, and I want to see someone else try it and see how this will grow.
Mm-hmm.
You thought so too? Was imperfect?
Yeah. I mean, and they didn't do it too much, so I was okay with it.
Yeah, it was just towards the end. It was a good idea though. And when they threw the gun, "Oh, I'm out," and he passed it over to him, and we followed it.
Followed the gun.
That was an amazing part of it.
Yeah, try new technologies.
What happened to Gabrielle Union's character? Her name was Sydney, right? And I just heard she had like a buddy cop with Jessica Alba, another Fantastic Four alumni. But they had a buddy cop, and it lasted for 2 seasons in L.A. What? Really?
Yeah.
What? Like, wait, when was I? Did I even have YouTube back then in 2018? No. 2019, 2018. No, I had it in late 2019, early 2019 is when I started. Maybe I would have covered it.
The Bad
But
Boy verse.
the Bad Boy verse. They could find a reason to get her into the wedding. Besides, like a cool, hey, she's here. The Good Girls. Oh, they could have called it Good Girls. The opposite of bad, the opposite of boys.
Is that how you came up with it? Wow.
Yeah. How else would I have come up with it? the aside from her not being in it, and I think I heard Stephen A. Smith complain she wasn't in it. And F Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith, I'm losing my respect for him, man.
Dude, he went like, yeah, he wants Will to sit down with somebody and talk about why he did it. Like,
he already apologized. And the act that he did, hitting somebody who talks about your wife, isn't that big of a deal. And it was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
He's just making noise. But it's the circles that he's in and the conversations that he's had. If he was surrounded, he doesn't get his hair cut enough. That's all I'm trying to say.
Wow.
Stephen A. aside, end of the movie happens. The end of the movie happens, and then we have a happy ending. The moment where he shoots, where Will sees the two hostages, and he shoots at his partner just so he can shoot over to the villain, that didn't work for me. Because if I'm a villain, I'm holding a gun. I just heard one shot. Okay, well, click. Logically, that's how it would have worked. I don't understand how Will was able to shoot twice without James firing off once. Was he confused? Was he out of the moment? Was he in the middle of switching, pointing because he was pointing at him, pointing at her, pointing at him and her as he was holding them? What was the reason for that? I might need to see the movie again or just find that scene to pull it up again. The only scene I've pulled up twice was I had to go and watch the Reggie scene one more time to see him move around, jumping around, and everyone being impressed. Who is this guy? That's Reggie. You can have all my snacks. I did see that scene one more time, but I'll probably watch the ending a couple of times, also play it back just to understand how that hostage situation worked. It didn't fit for me. He wins. They all win. They kiss. You see how far away they are from Miami as the camera fades out and see where they are in Florida. Florida has a lot of swamp and a lot of inhabited area that you would think by now, with that state being so tropical and so like advantageous, everyone would love it. It's a resort. You would think that the Florida state would have more room for more cities, and not really. There's a lot of coastline there and a lot of swamp, and I guess the wildlife is keeping people from going in there. In California, they killed a lot of the bears. Maybe they'll do the same with the gators here. Which, by the way, there's a difference between gators and crocodiles, which I had to learn as I was doing research for this film. Great movie. Close out. They're at the cookout. Reggie wants to use his hot dogs. And at the ending, when they zoomed into his face, he had the lamest smile. And it reminded me why he's not an actor. They probably should have done a take 2 or a take 3. He was still there. He was a softie, but he gets to put his barbecue. He gets to use the barbecue. Yeah. The clan scene versus the Reggie scene. I'm choosing the Reggie scene. I'm choosing the Reggie scene also. Good messaging, though, to have him fight the clan. Want to thank everyone for jumping in here, including Mike, who I think is away from the screen. Mike? He's away. Want to thank you guys for jumping in here as we talk about the Bad Boys film. 9 out of 10 movie. Maybe 8 out of 10 movie. 9 out of 10. I liked it better than the first, than Bad Boys 3. I liked it more than Bad Boys 3. So I'll give this guy a 9. Mike, what do you give it?
Well, not for nothing, but needed Gabrielle Union, so 6. And then I want Bad Boys 5.
All right, Mike. Appreciate your input. He's probably got a customer over there because he is at Rogue Comics. Everyone needs to shop there at Bridgeport, Connecticut. Get your hottest comics. Until the next time, I plan to do this again next Saturday at 1. About what? I don't know. Maybe birding questions. I plan to do this again. Peace out. Thanks for coming. Buy comics. Pre-order the Storm comic book, because the Storm comic book, Storm is also going to be an Avengers. Pre-order that. Check them out. I'm out.